Good evening and welcome to another installment of the New York Minute Sports Show. And we're live. That's right, folks. We're not taped. We're not recorded. We're live. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. It's New York Minute Sports. It's New York Sports for New York Nuts. And we've got a jam-packed show for you today with my boy, none other than Pudgy Boys Sports with a Z, folks, on Instagram. You can check out all of his content. Mets, Knicks, Bizarro World me, because he's bigger and he's more knowledgeable, folks. And we got Mike from Pudgy Boy Sports. What's going on, Mike?
What's going on, Eric? How we doing today?
You know what? A Jet fan living in a world of constant beatings, but hey, the beatings will continue until morale improves and Aaron Glenn is in over his skis. But your New York Giants were ripping their shirts off. Dude, first of all, okay, let's break this down. Last night, I'm like, G-Men against the Eagles, okay? I see you getting ready for the game. I'm like, that poor soul. He's a dedicated man. He's going to go to MetLife, that air conditioning unit, that 80,000-seat air conditioning unit, worst stadium in the NFL, takes a day off work. And you know what? It's a day of work to drive to MetLife, especially from anywhere other than in New Jersey. And I was saying a prayer for you. And then I turn on and I go, holy shit, the Giants won. And then the next thing I know, you got a wet T-shirt contest with Fitzmagic. And you got them going ape shit on the postgame show. And everyone's talking about it. The Giants are the talk of the town, Mike. Scadaboo, Dart, you got a new team, it looks like.
It looks like we got something to finally, as Giant fans, could look forward to now, right? The one thing about this clip that you're seeing, which I absolutely love, like yourself, Jackson Dart completely just knows how to take over a TV screen, right? The aura, the swagger. He looks like he's been in the league for 5 or 6 years when it comes to his personality.
Well,
I'm going to do it too.
He's got it. He definitely's got the it factor. And you know what? Some dudes figure out New York. And it seems like this dude has already figured out New York. Now, New York, we like to get ahead of ourselves, but I don't know. This tandem, look at this. I mean, come on.
I've never been, again, you said I don't want to get ahead of myself, but there is a different feel. People say, everybody said this about DeVito. Everybody said this about Jones. No, the people that have a little knowledge and a little logic did not say this crap about Tommy DeVito and Daniel Jones. You could see it when you watch this kid, and the fact that these guys are both came in together, same draft, talking about how bad the Scadaboo said it yesterday, how bad the Giants have been for so long, and he wants to change it. And just watching these guys gives you such sense of hopefully this franchise has taken the turn now for the better after so many years of just garbage football.
Well, reports out of Giant camp, though, nothing has changed since the last time we had our show. Jameis Winston still thinks Dart is a female. We're still work on it. I'm still – because he keeps going, he's pretty. He's pretty. And I'm like, oh. So speaking of Jameis, though, I noticed Russell came in for one play last night when he went to concussion protocol. Also, if the Giant fans – a little tampered celebration today because the NFL came in with the concussion protocol, kind of overrided the New York Giants, which the NFL can do. But why isn't Jameis QB2? Because Russell Wilson comes in, he throws one in the grass and gets completely almost booed out of the stadium.
Yeah, that was right. It was right. If you heard the buzz in the arena when Wilson came in the first place, was everybody was just holding their breath when he threw that pass. Everybody, even Philly fans were booing, and it was horrible because nobody wants to see that. The only reason I think he's not quarterback 3 is because of the money that he's making. It's honestly, and it's as crappy as a business as it is, to have him as your quarterback emergency 3, making what, like $7 million the rest of the way. I don't know how they would justify that.
I bet you it sounded exactly what Yankee Stadium sounds like when Lolev Dev comes in. Like when Bednar comes in, when Duval comes in, it's like it's all good. It's a celebration. And then when Williams comes in, it's like all you hear is there's no cheers, there's no boos, it's just this fucking guy. Yeah, dude. So the temperature in the stands last night Also, I noticed when I was watching Dart, this was really the first game. I watched the highlights and I watched the game over after they won. Jackson Dart's approach to the game, his crouch in the pocket, he looks like a young Russell Wilson. So, like, kind of like the light bulb went off last night. Was Russell Wilson a stopgap to implement that offense because they're kind of like the same dude? Russell, he looks like a Legion of Boom, Russell Wilson.
He does. And the way, like, when you see him maneuver the pocket, you could see the way Russ did the same thing too early on. So it's a good comparison how Dart just kind of, when he's in the pocket getting suffocated, instead of juking guys out, he kind of bounces off tackles instead of kind of juking them away. He'll just bounce into a guy just to make himself go the other way, and then he'll just make the throw that he has to make. So
he stays in an athletic position the whole time, kind of like a shortstop plays, in baseball. You stay on the balls of your feet, and you're in that athletic position, and he's in that all the time because that's what it is when you get a quarterback from a pro system like Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin. These are the kind of things that they implement in the 3 years. I know it's all talk, but there is even big discussions in the NFL in the next collective bargaining agreement to make quarterbacks stay in for 3 years. 3 to 4, because the quality of the NFL has dropped. I don't know about you, man. Watching the NFL this year is just not that guy. Because being a Jet fan, I told you I'm about this close to getting the NFL Rob Lowe hat. So I just I root for football, sports. But
go sports.
No, but the rest of the league, the rest of the quality of the NFL has been downhill, and it hasn't been good this year. There's really, there is some parity. Baker Mayfield's a good story. Now the New York Giants. See, the thing about this is, Mike, I remember you Giant fans getting all depressed on us. And as a Jet fan, I sat here and I talked to you and I told you, don't worry about it because you guys will correct your ship before the Jets do, because the New York Giants and the New York Yankees, I think they're one and the same, and the similarities that they have are pretty palpable. You have the Jets and the Mets. They're the same goddamn team, okay? That's why I think the Giants will turn it around, and this is a step in the right direction. Imagine if you guys had neighbors. You'd be making some noise in the NFC East division this year.
Yeah, and him doing this yesterday, bringing up neighbors too, there was no Darius Slayton yesterday. I know he gets a lot of hate, especially from me, but Darius Slayton still is a guy who has multiple 1,000-yard seasons under his belt. So to be missing him and to be missing neighbors and still be moving the football the way that he did, the kid's been very impressive so far. And you and me are kind of a rare breed when it comes to the teams we've cheered for, because we veered different ways with both teams. Like you're supposed to be Giants, Yankees,
like a Jenga piece. That's exactly what happens. We fit like a manipulated Lego piece, because you're supposed to be Giants, Yankees, Rangers. You're supposed to be Mets, Jets, and Nets. We're both Knicks fans, obviously, but you're a Mets. That's why we have Pudgy Boys Sports with a Z on New York Minute. And don't forget to don't forget to subscribe, New York Minute Sports on Instagram. That's why we have you here. It's not only that you're a handsome dude, it's that you got acumen. You got knowledge about the sports. Yeah, with a jawline like that, you just don't stumble upon that. But the New York Giants, I think, are going to right this ship. And maybe now, do you think that the New York Giants can be that team that steps in the place of the Washington Commanders? Because everyone, such as myself, thought the Jaden Daniels-led Commanders this year was going to be the team that takes the step. The Eagles take a step back, but maybe the G-men kind of snuck into that void. And if they have a half-decent fucking team, they're going to need it with the fucking schedule that they have.
Yeah, I don't want to, not to get ahead, but, more – this is when the Giants can go out and defeat the defending champion Eagles on a Thursday night without – two pretty big weapons on the team, and then also defeat the Chargers a couple weeks ago. Whatever happened with the Saints, the turnovers, you chalk that up to crap.
That was a trap game, like Game 4 for the Yankees. That was a major trap game. The New York Saints, the New Orleans Saints. I'm going back to indoor lacrosse from 1994. New York Saints, Miko Red Arrow. What's up, buddy? Yeah. My question to you, though, real quick, did that save Dable's job last night?
No. In my eyes, no, because I would need to see – these last two draft classes might save Joe Shane's job, His first 2 draft classes were going to get him fired. Now, these last 2 look really spot on. I have to see more development throughout the season. It's not so much – I'd love to be in the playoffs. Believe me, I'd love it so much. It's not so much about wins and losses right now as for it is to see this kid continue to develop. And if the Giants can stay competitive in these games, I don't see how you don't bring back Brian Daboll at this point.
I think he's already got his job next year. Unless the wheels fall off of this thing. Dude, in the first – what week are we in? 6 now?
Yeah.
Okay, we're in week 6. He has beaten the Chargers and the Philadelphia Eagles, okay? 2 games that they had no business in winning. That's getting coached up. That's with a rookie quarterback beating the defending champions and probably the AFC representative of the AFC this year. Well, I mean, the Chargers always shit the bed. They're like the Seattle Mariners of the NFL. But they will wind up shitting the bed. But Daboll's already beat 2 big opponents. And didn't you guys have the Commanders' first game?
We had the Commanders' first game off.
So that young team that you have, man, that's still technically a preseason game. So, and then you have, I think that the New York Giants they could be a top 5 defense by the end of the year if they utilize these guys correctly. You know, you look at these guys, they look like orcs with blue Giants jerseys on. These guys look bigger than life, okay? Burns, number 0, I'm afraid of him. Okay, yeah. I don't get intimidated by other men at all. I'm scared of him. Then you got Thibodeau. Then you got the Penn State dude, Carter. Like, they got a 3-headed defensive pass rush monster. Then you got the big boy in the middle. Can you adopt me for the season, Mike?
Yeah. The only negative I'll say, because the pessimistic does fall. It does come in. I don't think this is the right, as you mentioned, every one of those guys. I just don't think this is the right coordinator to get the most out of every single one of those guys. The way that he's playing a lot of the schemes and the guys in the secondary, but that's for another day. Today, we're going to enjoy this win. Did you see how Daboll ran to the tent?
1 second, hold that thought, please, because I just want to show the crowd. Do you notice how Mike completely brushed over the fact that I said, can he adopt me as a Giants fan? Because 1, he did say yes, but it was in passing. It wasn't sincere. And 2, it was more like I don't want your fucking loser jet ass fucking up my mojo. So listen, what I will do is you don't have to adopt me, okay? I'm just going to be standing outside your bay window of your house, hungry at night, just scratching on the window until you accept me. So deal with it. I'm sorry. What was the thought you had?
Did you see, you mentioned the concussion thing before. It was the funniest. I think this might be the funniest moment of the NFL season, watching like Brian Daboll run to the tent. I've never seen a head coach do that before. Like, and then him screaming at the team physician to get Dart back in the game.
Do you think maybe Jameis Winston thinks that Dart is a woman because Daboll's in love with him so much?
Dude, I've never seen this type of connection. It almost makes me wonder this is where I get the questions coming into my head is like, if Brian Daboll felt this conviction about Dart, did he want to start him in week 1 and was just kind of told, let's take it easy, let's wait a couple weeks? I don't know. You start to think about this shit.
I think it was just like the Yankees exiting the playoffs. We all knew it was going to happen, but we tried to talk ourselves into this illusion that it wasn't going to happen. I mean, Russell Wilson was lying to himself being at the Knicks playoff game, I told you, with that varsity jacket on, with being on the Jumbotron. It's like, bro, you knew. He knew. Everyone in the building knew. Like, man, I'm done with pretending about athletes and situations and shit like that. We knew this was going to be Kurt Warner 2.0. They get another Ole Miss quarterback. I mean, it's deja vu 2.0. And you know what? This is the thing, Mike. You already got another quarterback, it seems like. Listen, man, shit could change, and I understand. He could be a fucking bust. Who knows? But as far as this looks like, all the arrows are pointing in the right direction. He's got the look. He's got the mentality. He gets media. He's a sharp kid. Scadaboo's his little Rocky and Pebbles to his Bam Bam or whatever. And it's going to work out. We had Thunder and Lightning. Now we got Dopey and we got Ren and Stimpy here.
Yeah.
So and we got to talk about Boo. Yo, Scadaboo is so tailor-made for a town like New York and he's tailor-made for like a town like the Steelers, you know, like he's that no-nonsense lunch pail to work every single day. Watching him play for the Sun Devils, bro, in the playoffs last year, that guy had the heart of a champion, and it's like the line from Rudica, if you had half the heart of him, you'd be a goddamn All-American. This guy's out here treating like the Super Bowl, you know? It's like Scadaboo's got that fucking it factor, man.
Like, I don't know. Like, when you watch all these experts on the pre-draft process about where guys are ranked and who, one thing you just cannot rank, dude, is how the F guys like him, when they step on the field, how he was rated a 5th-round pick coming into this draft. If you don't know anything about him, like you said, just watch the Arizona State championship game last season, where he was legitimately the only offense on the entire team. And how he fell to the 4th is beyond me.
You know what? I think I might have a half-ass answer for you, is that I think that, you know, these in-the-know NFL guys, like, they're so worried about their ego and their opinion that they're not a football guy, that they don't look at the gut test. It's like analytics in baseball, dude. It's the same thing. It's the gut and the eyeball test. It's either go to the book or do this. It's like, you know, a guy's got that it factor. Like, Boo would have fucking translated on any league that he played because of the heart he had. Yeah, he might not be the fastest guy. He might not be but Jerome Bettis wasn't. Mike Allstott wasn't. You know, that it factor and that mentality and that leadership also, which this team has been lacking big time, the New York Giants. I mean, you know, Daniel Jones, who looks like the next Joe Montana playing for the Colts right now, but the guy's got the personality of Belly Button Lint.
That's one of the big differences I see with Dart is he's not, you know, as a 22-year-old rookie, you want to know your place, but I've seen him go up to receivers, tell them to block. They should have been blocked. He told Hyatt he missed on a block. He's telling yesterday Theo Johnson to turn around to expect the ball because he didn't turn his head around fast enough. These are the little things that you look for in a potential leader for hopefully the next X amount of years.
Yeah, and so let's touch on. I wish we didn't have to do it, but let's touch on the Jets real quick. I don't think Aaron Glenn's going to make it the whole year.
Wow.
I don't think that he has a free pass like this. We don't, you know, when you come in and you replace Robert Saleh, who arguably might have been one of the worst NFL coaches, then he gets replaced by his defensive coordinator. Their defense starts lacking. They start suffering. And now the Jets don't do anything well, okay? So I think it's time to clean house with everybody. Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner, Breece Hall. Bye. Justin Fields, everybody, goodbye. Get as much get as much draft equity as possible. Try to get as much cap space out there as possible, and you got to restart this. The guys that the New York Jets drafted under Joe Douglas are not winning players. Then you also see they go get Membu. What's his name? The fucking who's the Dracula on ESPN? The fucking the draft guy.
Kuiper?
Who looks like he lives in a sarcophagus. Watch him say Membu. And then we have from Missouri, Membu. So they fucking draft Membu. I forget. This is a long time ago. The Jets could have got Dart, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jets could have got Dart instead of Membu. And then they could have got the tight end from the Indianapolis Colts from Penn State.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's rewriting the position of tight end, and he's also running the ball. Why would we need a guy like that when we got a guy like Jason Taylor's kid who's fucking a corpse, all right, with football pads on, and Ruckert's getting more picks than him. So, listen, man, I said in the beginning of the season, they got a 1992 offense. Bill Parcells is not walking through that door. I don't care how many Skype interviews Aaron Glenn has with Bill Parcells down in Tampa from his old folks' home, okay? I don't care how much L.A. looks Bill Parcells has in his hair, how much product he has, how many groceries he buys. Aaron Glenn is in over his head. I think he's going to be gone at the end of the year, and I don't even know if you keep the GM. There's no reason to. We have no holding to these guys. Every single guy that we got instead of the defensive coordinator is unproven. And the defensive coordinator we have is proven and he blows.
Do you have anybody in mind do you want a guy that's going to come take over head coach / GM like Bill?
You know who I want? I want Jim Ursaw's daughter
Oh my
that wears
God,
the headset to come over and
he
coach our
scares me.
team. I think she'd be a better coach than Aaron Glenn. How do you feel about that whole situation?
Her being like right down on the field.
Yeah.
I don't mind the owner wanting to get a closer look. Typically, they're usually down there like the last few minutes of the game. Sometimes just like to kind of celebrate. But for her to, I don't know, for her to be down there with the headset and the taking notes, I don't know how players feel about it. I'd be a little weirded out. Like this.
Well, we definitely know that the players don't like it.
No, because it's like.
Then we definitely know that the head coaches and coordinators really don't like it. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll give you an example. I worked in the service industry a lot before I started doing stand-up full time. And the one thing that you notice is that when the owner is in the building of a restaurant, everybody is on their P's and Q's. Everybody on the staff is doing exactly what they should be doing. They're polishing silverware. If you got time to lean, you got time to clean. You don't want to be caught flat-footed when your manager's walking around. And then when he leaves the building at 3:30 and party time, and you throw this silverware away, the side work goes bye-bye. And that's the thing. I think that is a good move by her. She does, and I'm not going to assume that she does not know football, but I'm assuming that she probably doesn't know as much about football as her old man did. So now her old man passes away earlier than expected, and she gets this thing thrown in her lap. Maybe I would like to see Hal sit in the dugout with some headgear on. You know, maybe that's refreshing. Maybe that's actually refreshing to an actual fan of the Colts who sits there and goes, you know what? My owner actually gives a shit enough to be there and involved in practices in there. Like, you know, Woody Johnson just likes to wear the stupid Jets hat and then go get the Green Bay Packers quarterback 15 to 20 years after the fact. So Jordan Love, I'm announcing it here. Jordan Love will be the starting quarterback of the New York Jets in 2035.
But bottom line, they're 1-4. That's a story. They're 4-1. Nobody's going to care about it.
Bro, the Jets are Rich Kotite era, and it's not going to get any better right now. And you know what doesn't get any better? We got 171 days till opening pitch. Opening day, folks. We got 171 days. It's actually only 139 if you want to talk about when pitchers and catchers report to camp. So that's how I do it. And now we have the World Baseball Classic. So the season is shortening up. And then before that, I'm going to be covering, let you guys know right here, New York Minute Sports. I'm going to be covering the Yomiuri Giants playoff run this year. Yup. I'm going to be doing post games of the NPB, okay? That's the Japanese Professional Baseball League. I am a Yomiuri Giants fan. I just anointed myself about a month ago, been coaching myself up. They're established in 1934, played a 12-game set against the New York Yankees in Japan. Babe Ruth was on that team. They took the slow boat to China, stopped off in Japan, and they played a series. Matsui played for them. Tanaka currently plays for them. So we're going to be doing the postseason run, and we're going to be doing everything. We're turning Japanese. I really think so. But my Yankees lose to the Toronto Blue Jays. Now, they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook. Okay? And what I mean by that is I think that Yankee fans really didn't have their hopes up this postseason like we did last year. And the main reason because of that is that we didn't have a dude by the name of Juan Soto in our dugout. Now, last year, it was Big G that stood up, and he made some big hits, clutch hits, monumental hits for the New York Yankees, because what made him actually been able to do that was he had Juan Soto on the team. So they had to pitch around Juan Soto, and then they had to pitch to Giancarlo Stanton. So my question to you guys is this Aaron Baboon's fault? Bubbles, buffoon, baboon, Aaron Boone. And guess what, guys? He's not going anywhere. Bubbles, buffoon, baboon. You better get some extra bananas for opening day because he's going to be there, folks. And you know why? Because it wasn't his fault. It wasn't Aaron Boone's fault. The Anthony Volpe mess up express didn't pull into the station. Lolev Dev actually was doing well. Austin Wells surrounded all scoring in clutch situations against the Red Sox and the Blue Jays. He was involved in every single one. So the only thing that you can pin on Aaron Baboon was not playing Ben Rice enough. The only thing that you can pin on Aaron Bubbles was the fact that he didn't start the game with McMahon and Goldschmidt, and then or reverse that with a defensive substitution for Rosario Caballero. So there's a lot of scenarios that could have turned out differently. But Mike, the starting pitching let the New York Yankees down. And you know what the craziest part about that is? That gives Aaron Boone that out. Because they're going to sit there at the press conference and they're going to go, hey, we thought Volpe was going to hurt us. We thought Devin Williams was going to hurt us. No, it was actually the starting pitching. And Boone's going to have a job.
Well, then you're going to get Garrett Cole was injured. So we got that's another excuse for the Boone man.
Anthony Volpe had a torn labrum all year. So the excuse, Aaron Boone, boop, boop, excuse train. Yep, we're going to get plenty of that. But I have to admit, for a guy that's not a big Baboon fan, he doesn't deserve to be fired.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you because, from the outsider perspective, like, obviously they're in the playoffs every year, which is great. But that's Yankee standard, whether Boone's there or not. I don't think Boone does that bad of a job. I also don't follow him on a daily basis like you as much. But you just said you don't want Aaron Boone fired, right? You're fine with bringing him back next year?
I'm scared he's going to get replaced by another puppet, and the puppet's going to be worse. This puppet's actually had 8 years to tug on the strings and might have a little bit more of wiggle room as far as talking to Brian Cashman and having Hal Steinbrenner's ear. He is very well liked in that organization, Aaron Boone. He is a very well liked guy. And the reason that Joe Girardi got fired was he was getting on guys' ass way too much. It's Club Boone. That's the problem, man. These guys, there is no ramifications to their actions. They are not afraid of the manager. And when you have a young squad like the New York Yankees with Ben Rice, Jason Dominguez, Cam Schlittler, Will Warren, all these rookies, yeah, you might have some veterans on your team, but dude, put the fucking foot down. And we might see that we don't see that maybe he puts the foot down in the locker, but no, you could get a sense that Cora puts the foot down. No one's fucking with Cora. No one's trying those cute little baby games with him, like the disciplinarian shit. And you see what happens when a guy like Devers tries to screw around with your team. He's gone.
Yeah. Did you see the Susan Waldman interview? That it kind of just it says it falls into what you just said. What she was on with WFAN, I forgot who it was. She said Aaron Boone is in lockstep with the analytical department with Cashman and the rest of those guys.
Yeah, she had mentioned that when he worked at ESPN, they had talked, and all he did was talk about analytics and statistics. Yeah, but like, dude, analytics is a two-headed monster. What happens is if you're the Dodgers, analytics works because you have the right dudes doing the analytics. The New York Yankees, you need to remember this, Mike. In the beginning of last year, they had an internal investigation on their analytics team. Do you know who actually conducted the investigation? Brian Cashman. So that's like, hey, man, we really need to fire the manager. So I hire the manager I want to fire to figure out the reason we got to fire him. I don't think we're going to find a really good reason. The Yankees are like caught between this. It's either shit or get off the pot. Either we're going to be a gut team or we're going to be an analytics team. And you know what? I've seen some shit in the comment section. I've heard some stuff that, that the Blue Jays are playing a early 1990s Yankees strategy of ball, and that's because Donnie Baseball is one of their bench coaches, and that the Blue Jays haven't been playing like that pesky kind of baseball since he was on there. I think you're starting to see a kickback to all this bullshit in baseball. You're going to see go back to the old school way. Starters go in 7 innings, only using 3 relievers. I'll tell you exactly when it happened. In 2015, when the Kansas City Royals won a World Series with about 8 bullpen guys per game. Their starters would go 3 innings, and then they'd do a bullpen sesh. So since then, Now the trend is dying on the vine. Unless you're the Los Angeles Dodgers and you're shitting Tiffany cufflinks and you do whatever you want, whenever you want, and you can't fucking do anything wrong.
But Hal's going to spend the money, right? Because they're going to wind up in the top percentile in spending money.
Yeah.
But Cashman's back, Boone's back. Those are the obvious ones. We won't get into pitching coaches or hitting coaches. I think the hitting was a little more of a problem than the starting pitching from what I saw. I know Fried wet the bed, but you're getting Cole back. What's the first move you want done when it comes to this lineup? If it's Bellinger, are you extending Jazz?
Okay, so Jazz, we got him for one more year. Jazz can be traded.
And you got McMahon another year, I think.
So here we go. Jazz can be traded. You move Volpe over to second. You still have 1 year of control over Volpe. You're paying him league minimum. He has an arm for second base, and if he has to cut down his range, he can definitely be the starting second baseman of a team. Also, that's 1 more year, do or die year for Anthony Volpe to see what we got. Anthony Volpe and Austin Wells need to come back. They need to come back. We need to develop them. We need to see them for 1 year. Austin Wells still finished with 23 home runs. Austin Wells finished with the same amount of home runs that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. had this year, and he makes $500 million, and he's not a catcher, okay? So there is, and also he plays a great defense behind the plate. Austin Wells got the shit beat out of him this year. Literally, every single game, there was 3 instances, I'm not exaggerating, 3 instances where he got a comebacker, either in the chops, in the shoulder. It looked like he was in World War I at the end of the year, okay? Cody Bellinger, everyone's shocked by him opting out. Well, you're a moron if you think that Cody Bellinger wasn't going to opt out.
Yeah.
He's a Boris guy. He's already making $25 million a year. That's when he goes bye-bye, all right? Cody Bellinger just made 25. That was the locked-in salary from the Chicago Cubs, right? So you have the locked-in salary from the Chicago Cubs. He just had an up year. He's going to fucking dictate 29 now, 29.5, because they won't give him 30. He's going to dictate 29.5. You're going to pay fucking Cody Bellinger for this year. I think he's going to have a down year next year. He's not going to have Aaron Judge protecting him in the lineup. So if he wants to walk, let him go play for the Diamondbacks for $30 million a year. Then you got Trent Grisham. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I agree.
Trent Grisham showed back up to earth. He fell back to earth this year. You saw exactly who he was in the postseason. He was who we thought he was, and we let him off the hook. Because what they do now is they get him in this hitting lab, Mike, and they get this Chris Carpenter, who we had 3 years ago from the St. Louis Cardinals, who was never a home run guy. Second half of the season, he starts doing this uppercut swing to the little fucking Little League field that we have in right field. He had 13 bombs in the second half of the season.
Yeah, that was great.
That's what Trent Grisham did this year. And if you get 500 at bats, okay? If you get 500 at bats at the ball, you're going to hit 30 home runs if you do that kind of swing to right field. It's going to happen. It's the possibilities of it. Go down the list. If you look at the list of guys that are leaving this team, Yarborough, Trent Grisham, Cody Bellinger, all these guys, Blackburn, who we got off the Mets, who was actually serviceable for us in cleanup time. They all suck.
And Dev.
Bye. Bye-bye. You go bye-bye now. Aaron Hicks from the Sticks is coming off the books. $10 million comes off the books. You let go. You got to cut ties with Giancarlo Stanton now. Frankenstein, who runs like he has snowshoes on, who literally sprains both of his arms when he cuts a Ruby Tuesday steak, this dude. Now he only plays half the season, and now he doesn't produce in the playoffs, and now you're a dinosaur? Bye-bye. Marlins are paying $11 million of that 26, so they're only on the hook for 16, okay? So you either tried to trade him. I think you might be able to get something for him for for somebody that needs a DH. DJ LeMahieu, 25.5 coming off the books. So you have Paul Goldschmidt. He's going bye-bye. Ben Rice is going to be the first baseman. So now $10 million more comes off. You have a shitload of money coming off of free agency, Mike. Then you have a starting rotation next year that makes my pee-pee hard, okay? You have Garrett Cole. You have Max Fried, Carlos Rodon, Cam Schlittler, Will Warren, Clark Schmidt, Luis Heel. Then you have Lombard, Spencer Jones coming up next year. So you have your new starting shortstop, Lombard Jr. at 20 years of age starting at shortstop. You can say bye-bye to Cody Bellinger, and you put Spencer Jones in left field, and you put Dominguez in center, because technically Dominguez was a better defensive outfielder. Yes, I'm saying this into the camera. Jason Dominguez was technically a better defender than Trent Grisham, and he doesn't dog it. But if you want to bring Cody back because you have all that extra capital, bring him back. I wouldn't have a problem with it. He plays first base, he plays center, and he's a baseball player.
Yeah, and I guess the lingering problem, I don't know if there's any news if you heard with Aaron Judge's elbow. Is there anything different with that?
There's no news with Aaron Judge. So let's talk about Aaron Judge real quick. I want to ask you from an outside perspective. How do you think his playoffs went?
Well, I got a lot of heat from a couple videos I made, but that's not.
Well, I mean, come on, bro. Like, I saw first of all, the videos that you made, nothing was out of pocket, nothing was out of line.
It's just it's the source people hear it from where they get very defensive.
No. You have to remember, on Instagram, people have no brains. Before people pick up their phone to go on Instagram, they stick a device up their nose and they drag their brain out of their fucking head, and then they start typing. They don't even watch your video. All they see is you, as a Met fan, talking about the Yankees, and then they just start operating the thumbs.
Yeah.
That's what happens. Like, for instance, I was dying. I did that video of the brawl inside the crowd the other night in Yankee Stadium. Yeah. Some guy comments, "What are they fighting about?" Bro, I'm a mile and a half away from these jabronis. We're at a Red Sox-Yankees. It makes my brain melt. So I stopped reading the comments. But if you don't start reading the comments and reply, you get left in algorithm hell. So That's the beast. You know what I'm saying?
No, but yeah, from my perspective of looking at Judge, he's had the thing. He's had big hits in the postseason before. Just last year, he had the 2-run shot against Class A in the 9th to tie it. But what I wanted to see was what Vladimir Guerrero Jr. did this series is what I wanted to see from Aaron Judge. Take over game 1, game 2, game 3, game 4, game 5. He took over game 3, had the biggest moment of probably his postseason career, but I needed to see personally more Aaron Judge, less Luis Urias in the first 2 games. And the singles are great, but they're awesome. But it's also not his fault. Nobody's getting on base ahead of him because except for the game 1 strikeout, he probably did everything you possibly could ask for except hit the ball over the fence.
Aaron Judge is the Peyton Manning of baseball. That's pretty much what it comes down to.
Well, that means he's going to break through eventually. Then.
Yeah, no, he will. I think he'll leave. I said it to my friend leaving the stadium the other night, and my buddy's a big playoff Patty. And by the way, I gave him that name. He's not a self-proclaimed playoff Patty, but he's playoff Pat from now on. He's been to about 150 playoff games. He goes, "Do you think Judge is going to wind up like Donnie Baseball?" And I go, "Yeah, I do." And I go, "The only thing, actually, I go, no, he won't wind up like Donnie Baseball. He's going to wind up like Frank Thomas. He's going to win a chip on a team when he's an old man and he really didn't have a lot to do with it." I think that's going to happen, and that's going to be sad. It's going to be like, well, when Donnie Baseball, he retired, and they won the championship the next year. So, I don't know, man. Aaron Judge is not the problem with this team, okay?
Far from it. Yeah.
Imagine being Aaron Judge and looking around you in that bullpen, and you see Anthony Volpe like this in the team meeting. You know, like, bro, you're one of the greatest baseball players ever to draw breath. And I fall into it too. I'm guilty of it too. I get on Aaron Judge. Where are you? The dude hit 500.
No, it's a video
500 in the playoffs. He had 11 hits. He had that 3-run shot that was the only noise the Yankees made against the Toronto Blue Jays in the whole goddamn series. The guy just had a top 3 baseball season all time. Like, all time. Carl Yastrzemski, Babe Ruth are the only 2 guys above him. I think he's better than Barry Bonds this season when he was all juiced up. But that's the thing. Aaron Judge is Peyton Manning in the regular season, okay? Then you get a guy like Vladimir Guerrero Jr. because he hits 23 home runs during the regular season and makes $500 million, okay? Then you have somebody like Aaron Judge who makes $100 million less than him, has double the amount of home runs, has double the amount of WAR as him. and probably plays a better Gold Glove defense than him. And you would rather have Vladimir Guerrero Jr. on your fucking team. That's baseball, Susan. That's what makes baseball so perplexing and a crapshoot. You think you got it figured out, and then it's like you don't.
It's an impossible question to answer. I just wanted to know from a Yankees fan. I don't know if you remember when I asked you, I think we spoke over the summer, where I said, is Aaron Judge, are you kind of like getting numb to Aaron Judge's greatness at some point?
Absolutely.
And like, because he's going to be entering age 34, if I'm not mistaken. How many years, what's going to happen when he doesn't hit the 50 plus, when he doesn't drive in the 120 plus? The Yankees are going to have to put more around him in the whatever how many years he has left. And it's, as a Yankees fan, does that scare you that he might have 2, 3, 4 years left and they're not going to be able to do it for him?
Okay, so one window is closing. I would say he's got 2 more years of him of 50 home runs. 2 more.
So yeah, 2 more years of like the batting average could stay. He's a great hitter.
Let's say this version. Let's say this version, okay, of Aaron Judge we get for 2 more years. He starts declining in 2 years. He started playing baseball late in life. He's got that big frame of his. Move him to first base. Get him out of the outfield. I want him like Dave Winfield. That's how Dave Winfield got the 3,000 hits. On the Minnesota Twins, they put him at first base. When he played for the California Angels, they put him at first base because all he had to do was do the little stretch. If he runs in that outfield, there's a big toe that could get hit on the cement. There's a bunch of things that actually could happen to the New York Yankees. So that being said, 2 years on the window. What was your other question?
What's the confidence level of them? Do you feel putting the stuff around him that he needs to put himself over the top?
Now my confidence level's high because you just saw what Brian Cashman did in the farm system, and everyone complains about Brian Cashman. Dude, the day that Brian Cashman leaves the New York Yankees is going to be a sad day in Mudville. The New York Yankees aren't the top franchise in baseball anymore. If Brian Cashman leaves, we're just another franchise. I'm telling you that right now. Now, the New York Yankees have changed. Brian Cashman just had his career opus with all these pitchers because all I heard his whole life was that he couldn't develop pitchers, which he couldn't. All he could develop was Phil Hughes, Dylan Betances, and Jabba Chamberlain. That's all and Chang Ming Wang. That's all he did so far. So now he's producing fucking pitchers, and Cam Schlittler looks like the real deal. Will Warren had 33 starts this year. He's going to have another year under his belt. He's going to be a good pitcher. Luis Heal's under another year, 3rd year in a 5-year of control. This is what I'm talking about. The 2026 Yankees is what Brian Cashman was looking for. He was trying to throw us a bone and give us our pound of flesh this year. Everyone knew this wasn't the team. They're not this guy this year. Aaron Judge's window is closing. Garrett Cole's window is closing. Garrett Cole isn't even the number 1 pitcher on this team anymore. Garrett Cole is the number 2 or even the number 3 pitcher on this team right now. Regular season, Max Fried and Carlos Rodon are a better version than Garrett Cole. Who are we going to get from Garrett Cole coming back at 35 with Tommy John surgery? Are we going to get Justin Verlander or are we going to get Clayton Kershaw? Which one are we going to get?
Yeah.
Now, you asked me if I'm getting numb to Aaron Judge's greatness. Yes, absolutely. And so are the fan base. Like, bro, it happened with A-Rod, and talk about getting heat from a video. I don't know if you saw that YouTube video I put about A-Rod.
Yeah.
And by the way, funniest comment, by the way, I think it was from Rambo. He goes, it's not a Minotaur, it's a Centaur. Hey, bro, like, what are we talking about here? You know, like, I love the guy, and this isn't hate or any smoke or anything. I love the sports fan that goes in the comments section when you get one thing wrong, right?
Yeah.
Like the Red Sox were wearing their yellow jerseys tonight. They were white. And then that's it. No, no effort. Just they were white. It's like, okay, I know I'm going to get some stuff wrong, you know? All right, well, let's talk about your Mets. Let's go, Mets go. They pretty much let go Chavez was the sacrificial lamb for that, and he was on. Did you see that clip of him being interviewed by Foul Territory?
Yeah.
What happened on that?
So he's calling for guys to be fired from that because they misquoted him. he said that.
Foul they're asking for guys from foul territory to be fired.
Yeah, Chavez is. He said whoever the interviewer was, his name's escaping me right now. He said he put Chavez put something on Instagram, a post saying this guy put words in my mouth. This guy should be fired because I didn't say it. If you want a quote, you could just ask me directly. You had me on for the interview.
So what, they pretty much did a hard copy on him where they edited this thing to make him look bad?
Yeah, because he was speaking about changing Juan Soto's approach at the plate.
Yeah,
and I don't know,
more aggressive or something. I saw.
Yeah, he wanted him to be more aggressive with the first or second pitch of the at bat. I'm sorry, it's just maybe I'm a homer at this point, but if there's one or two or three guys in baseball that I don't think you really need to tweak their approach at the plate, I think Juan Soto should be the guy telling you if he wants to tweak something at the plate.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, yeah, I don't think. You're talking about a third baseman that won a batting title for the Oakland Athletics that we killed in Moneyball, and Juan Soto looks at him and is like, yeah, you're going to tell me now what to do? I don't think so. Yeah,
and then
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he mentioned something about putting Soto in the leadoff position as well because of his on-base percentage and how he gets on base, and prevalent more because of the 38 stolen bases that came out of nowhere this year. But he's not. I mean, it's great. Juan Soto's not a leadoff hitter. These are some of the reasons why the Mets did have to clean 95% of their managerial staff out of there.
Now you know me, I'm watching the New York Yankees every single night, but like, ESPN is the worst, bro.
Yes,
I'm watching them every, but Juan Soto's killing me. Sorry about that. Yeah, so Chavez is a guy that's not going to be able to tell Juan Soto what to do. But what kills me is, like I said, is that Juan Soto can put his mind to anything that he wants. And it just showed when he only had one error with about 3 games left in the regular season. And this guy stellar defense last. This is the Aaron Judge thing. He's not the problem. Juan Soto is not the problem. I would think I would go out on a limb here and say Chavez is the problem, no?
Yeah, and something nobody was a fan of coming into Aaron Chavez. That's probably his twin brother. Eric Chavez. Eric Chavez. He survived 3 different Met regimes, and I don't know. And I'm not saying Carlos Mendoza is perfect, but you're giving him 2 guys, and Hefner got a bad rep. He's actually been on the staff since 2017, but he's actually been a decent pitching coach for what he got out of the team last year. I don't blame him at all for what happened this year. That's more of a Stearns thing.
Yeah,
but the fact that these guys survived multiple firing regimes and then were also just handed to Carlos Mendoza, I don't think is fair. I think you should that's exactly why these guys needed to clean house and come up with something different. At least let Mendoza pick his own guys.
You know what, though? It's just like Parcells said, at least let me buy the groceries.
If you're going to fire, if you want me fired at this point, because if they don't perform this year, he's most likely getting fired next year. So let me go out with my people.
The one thing I did get from Chavez, though, he really went to bat for the coaching staff of the New York Mets. And he said, but he made an interesting comment about, JD Martinez and OMG being the big leaders on that team last year, and they got rid of them ASAP. That was like the first thing the Mets did.
I think Martinez has a real legit shot at coming. I don't know if he's retired yet. I don't think so.
Yeah, did he even play this year?
No, I think he's got a legit shot of coming back as a hitting coach. I see Manny Ramirez is getting like a lot of build to be a hitting coach. I mean, listen, hitting coach is a hitting coach. The players have to perform. I know a little bit coming from that, but the Iglesias thing, I get it. Everybody wanted him back, but you can't replicate that kind of stuff in back-to-back seasons.
The firing of the hitting coach is the most disingenuous pound of flesh to your fans from an owner that you could possibly do. It's the lowest hanging fruit. It's the dumb go-to. Fire the hitting coach. Wasn't Kevin Cash a hitting coach? You had Kevin Long for a while. He was great for you guys.
And he's great now in Philly.
Yeah, and he's in Philly now?
Yeah, he's been great.
Oh. Speaking of Philly, let's talk about that. Holy shit last night, bro. Philadelphia was down bad last night. If you live south of New Jersey, don't even look at this show or you might want to lay low for a little while.
seeing them lose is a lot of fun. Seeing them lose in that fashion is even more fun.
Yeah.
On the guy who just picks up the ball and just doesn't know what to do with it. And the guy, the Dodger, he didn't even touch home plate initially. He had to come back to touch home
And
plate.
it was such an errant throw.
And everyone's like,
even if he hit him in the middle, of the chest, he would have been out. Why did he not go to first base? Because is the guy a lefty? Was the pitcher a lefty?
Righty.
Yeah, man, you got to go to. If you were a lefty, I could see you going to first base and then you underhand it because you got to do a pirouette if you want to go to left. If you want to go to first base. That you know what? Thank God the Yankees won in the way that they did. Okay, because those are so much worse than like I can't do that. Like not bringing Nestor Cortez in against the Dodgers last year, heartbreaking. Anthony Volpe's defense in big spots last year, absolutely. Aaron Judge's fucking drop ball. Those were like we had 3 big heartbreaking moments in one season, but. I was just talking about Juan Soto's Guardians home run, and that sticks out to me is that's exactly what the secret sauce that the Yankees are losing. That guy's got a secret mojo about him. You know what? Maybe he's the perfect example of a Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and a Juan Soto. Juan Soto's a finisher. Juan Soto's a closer to it. So real quick, talking about your free agents on the Mets, you got Edwin Diaz. He has a player option, I believe.
Yeah. Which he hasn't exercised yet.
I think he's going to exercise it. He's dumb if he doesn't. He's the best closer in baseball, and I want to steal him from you.
Yes, I know.
So, do you think the Mets are going to retain him?
100%. If I'm David Stearns and whoever else is running that show, that's my top. That is number one top priority is re-signing Edwin Diaz. Make him the highest paid closer of all time. He deserves it. That trade was ridiculed when they first made it. Different regime. The trade was ridiculed. We took back Cano, but we got back the best closer, honestly, in Mets history, and you got to pay him now. That's top priority.
Joe Long, thanks for the love, brother. I appreciate it. You guys have been really nice in the comments section. People liking it, Mike. People saying hello. People are really feeling the G-Men. If anybody has any questions for the show, please let them in. Also, the Dodgers, they've literally ruined one of my favorite songs of all time, I Love L.A. Like... So the reason I love that, first of all, I'm not a big fan of the West Coast. I love San Diego. But, like, I love that song because of the movie Naked Gun.
Yeah.
At the end with the montage that they have. And they're eating the hot dogs at the baseball game. It's, like, one of my favorite, like, key moments. And they have ruined that song for me, man. That and Shakedown Street on Fox when they go to commercial break always reminds me of the World Series and the Dodgers. Dodgers are going to win the World Series again.
It just feel like, they had the win total, they had the monster off season. Doesn't it just feel, even with the injuries, they kind of just, the regular season, they just coasted through. And now the postseason, and here we go.
We have a Dodger team that omitted their only loss to the Mets. They omitted their only loss to the Yankees in the postseason last year. They come out, they fiddle fucking the West Coast. They make the San Diego Padres thirsty. And they know that they ain't got the sauce. Yeah. Everybody's hurt on their team, and somehow next man up, and they did it. And they're going to do it again this year. They have absolutely nobody. Everyone and their mom is hurt, and Kershaw is a shadow of himself, and they're going to win another chip. I don't get it, man. I really, that's the thing about the analytics. Those are analytics done well. Because Dave Roberts ain't a better manager than Aaron Boone or Mendoza.
No, even a lot of people I hear talk about Roberts, they don't look at him as this great manager.
Well, I mean, didn't they say that shit about Torrey too? It was a set and forget it kind of lineup. And when you have Ohtani who does, that's the thing. Like my buddy was talking about Judge and Ohtani. Like who would you rather have in a big spot? But that narrative's got to kind of change after the postseason that Aaron Judge just had.
And the one that Ohtani's currently having is not doing him any favors either. 1 for 20 in his last 21 at-bats.
Would you say Ohtani's 1 for 20 in the last 21 at-bats?
Yeah, like 1 for 20, a lot of Ks. He didn't look too good in that Philly series.
Well, I think, what's kind of – I know this is going to be copium, but maybe he's just really concentrating on the pitching.
Or the
Because that's
gambling.
where the Dodgers really need their help from. I mean, I know you can chew gum and walk at the same time, but like, think about this. He performs at a high rate on both positions, pitcher and positional player, which is unbelievable. And he won a chip with Tommy John in one arm. He was hitting with one arm in the World Series last year.
He needed surgery.
Okay? Like, bro, he is unbelievable. Greatest player you've ever seen in your life? Shohei Ohtani?
No, I would still go. I mean, he's there, but I would. I'm not trying to kiss ass here, but to me, it's still Judge. I'm not.
More so than Barry Bonds?
The steroids thing throws me off. I know everybody was doing it, but because my favorite player of all time is Alex Rodriguez, so I would love to tell you A-Rod, but I know if we're not saying steroids, I would tell you Bonds or A-Rod.
I mean, to be honest, though, and this is allegedly, okay? All this steroid talk is allegedly, folks. But who's to say that Judge is clean?
Everybody could be on it. I mean,
like, I keep hearing that thrown around. It's like, well, Judge is our first clean gut. What?
Do they even test anymore?
Yeah, they test, but yeah, it's more blood doping. It's like it's the thing that LeBron James does.
Yeah,
they're doing the old what's it called, Lance Armstrong now. It really is blood because so this is get your tinfoil hat out. Amphetamines used to be a large part of baseball. There used to be beans, leaded and unleaded pots of coffee on the table from the 60s all the way up until they got amphetamines out of the game. And in fact, when they cracked down on baseball, that was one of the biggest parts of baseball was amphetamines, not steroids, because those are the things that make guys get up for games when they got 6 games in a row in August that they can be attentive. It's pretty much methamphetamines. So you have that, and then when that dropped out of the game, so by blood doping and by literally oxygenating your blood, you can get that boost because when you exercise, you lack the oxygen content in your bloodstream. Little science experiment for you today, guys, here on New York Minute. Little fucking Dr. Wizard. But it helps, and it gives you energy. Look at LeBron James. Also, did you see all the plastic surgery that LeBron James got in the offseason?
I saw his Decision 2.0. Where
Did you see
his
face?
His lips look weird.
He looks like Kris Jenner, for Christ's sakes. Have you seen her? Have you seen a new picture of Kris Jenner?
Oh,
no, I'm talking about the wife.
Oh, the actual, the wife. Yeah, she looks amazing.
She looks like bro, that's not amazing because she's a hobgoblin underneath those clothes.
Some of them look better without all that crap done. I don't know why. I mean, when you have the money, people, I don't know. When you have money, you do weird stuff.
Before we start going off on Kris Jenner's hobgoblin body, do you think that a lot of the moves that Major League Baseball is doing, especially front offices, are heavily dictated on that there's going to be a strike in 27? So I think that all these dudes are trying to consolidate and put a huge emphasis on 26 because there's probably not going to be a 27.
Yeah, which sucks.
And, well, let's get through 26 first. Who knows? But I know that we got Manfred showing up in the locker room, to the Philadelphia Phillies locker room, 2 years away from a strike. It's not looking good. That's why I'm going to the World Baseball Classic spring training, and I'm trying to get in as much. I'm going to overdose on baseball this year coming up. So I think that's another reason. That's another thing that keeps Aaron Boone his job. Like, why would I let go Brian Cashman, who's been the GM for 36 years, the year before a strike?
Yeah, especially that they're under contract. Why even start? Why try to reset everything when it's good? The potential to be a strike is realistically there.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, listen. Jets and Giants. Jets play in England. And by the way, if you think that I'm waking up fucking early for that shit, you got another thing coming. Check you on the replays, Jets. Check you on the flip side, Aaron Glenn. I bet you they win that game too. It's going to be the only game that they win.
That'll be the one they win.
That's going to be the one they win when Eric's asleep. And by the way, even if the Jets win that game and I'm asleep, I will sleep through every single game just for the Jets fan crowd. I'm giving you that guarantee. That's the effort I put through here on New York Minute. I'm telling you guys, I will sleep through every Jets game if it means a win just for you guys. That's what I can do, you know? All right, remember, guys, you can reach Pudgy Boy Sports with a Z at the end on Instagram. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. This is our New York Minute Sports Talk show. We don't like what's going on in WFAN. I can't turn the radio on anymore and listen to the radio program that I listen to. Okay? Feel the power. And not to mention, little disclosure, break the fourth wall for everybody, Mike. Pretty much all me and Mike's conversation while we're not here on YouTube is sending Mike Francesa-related media to each other. Okay? Feel the power.
That's about 90% of the conversation.
All I get, what did I literally just, I finished the Mike and the Mike's on, Mike and the Mad Dog slogan last night to you in a text. Mike's on, Mike's on.
Prayers to Francesa, by the way, for sure. Successful gallbladder surgery.
You told me that.
Yeah.
He looked, he's like, listen, first of all, the doctor told me I got the best pancreas. Hold on. What went? His gallbladder or his pancreas?
He said his gallbladder was going to burst and he was going to die if he didn't get to the hospital.
The doctor said that my gallbladder looks like Mickey Mantle, actually. It looks like a silhouette, a bust of Mickey Mantle. And not to mention, the doctor said, I recovered from my gallbladder in 11 minutes. Okay, no, Mike, you laughed now.
No, I know.
You laugh now, but nobody's ever recovered from a gallbladder that quickly ever in, I think even in medical history. Okay, and remember, feel the power. All right. No, but shout out to Mike, honestly. And then he got Mad Dog.
My God.
I was telling people I wanted to name this show Mike and the Mad Dog because this would work. And by the way, I've literally been. You know what? This app tries to fuck me at every point possible. I love you, Riverside FM, but they put my fucking full name on blast for the last fucking hour. Like I'm trying to hide. You know?
Wow.
You know, it's not good. So, Mike, let the people know how you feel about anything right now.
I feel good. I feel good about the direction of one of my favorite teams, not all of them, and hopefully the Jets can get some jet lag for the Denver Broncos as we welcome in the Broncos, but we'll be in Denver next week. So hopefully,
the Broncos are gonna beat the shit out of the Jets. And the score is going to be, right now, 28-6. Because the Broncos just had a huge win last week.
Oh, my God.
The Philadelphia Eagles, okay? And did the Eagles just lose 2 in a row?
That's what I was afraid of when the Eagles – I truly thought Philly was going to put it together. I didn't see – they got a lot of crap going on, and I don't feel bad one bit. That is a 2-game losing streak.
It all stems from Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
It always stems from him. But real quick, before we wanted to go, Mike, I really wanted to touch real quick on the New York Knicks. How are we feeling about the season coming up on the 22nd, Wednesday? How are you feeling about this season coming up?
I got this so stupid. I got this big, goofy smile on my face. The second you said New York Knicks, I as exciting as the Giants are, nothing lights up this city like the Knicks. And if this is the best compilation of talent that I've seen in my lifetime of a New York Knicks roster. They're deeper than last year. They have a coach that's going to get deeper into the bench. They ran yesterday's preseason game, and they didn't call a play. Mike Brown did not call a single play. He allowed the offense to run itself like it was some street ball game. I love it. And I really, really think the Knicks are coming out of the East this year. Hopefully everybody stays healthy. We could wave those towels at the Garden during the run. Man, I'm really excited.
You know what? This is gonna,
yeah, it's perfect.
Oh, now I'm getting a smile on my face.
Yeah, see that?
Wait, it just hit me. Bro. If you could like fucking bottle the feeling I have in my gut walking to Yankee Stadium and coming out of Penn Station, seeing the homeless man shitting on himself, and then walking right into MSG for a playoff game, there's nothing like it, bro. And you know what? That's the thing. Everyone's pulling in different directions with every NFL. You can be a fan of 3 different teams in this state. Baseball, 2, everything else, 2. This is the if you're a net fan, you're just a sociopath. You should be locked up in Bellevue. We're all pushing in the right direction. But you know what that means, right? You know what that means, Mike.
I don't want to say it.
I'm not going to say it. Let's be positive. I'm going to stay positive, okay? But you know what that fucking means.
I know.
From being a Knicks fan. They do have the tools. They have the team that we asked for last year. They didn't do any major changes. Just like Aaron Judge and Garrett Cole, the New York Knicks have a 2-year window to get a championship in this town since the first time since Phil Jackson played as a player on the team.
And if they don't, I mean, there is, I don't want to bring this up. I'll just say this. Yeah. If they don't get it done this year, there is a player that is lurking, that is openly trying to make his way to Madison Square Garden that the Knicks have flirted with now over the summer. So,
can I guess who that is?
Yes.
Is that the Greek Freak?
It is the Freak. Yes. They had open dialogue over the summer. Both sides didn't take each other seriously. And clearly, the Freak wants to be at Madison Square Garden, and he's not even being coy about it anymore.
I think I said it to you fucking probably about 8 months ago at this point, when the Greek Freak was interviewed in the offseason 2 years ago. He said that every European player, Serbian players, Greek players, European players should be in every major market in the NBA. And why doesn't the New York Knicks have a European star? That was what started it all. Now, if he's going to be a free agent the next year, that's going to be a lot of salary dump. And that's where I'm going to be leaning on you about the fucking veteran minimums and the salary cap, because Eric got barbecue sauce on his SATs. So I don't know when it comes to that. But yes, but if we're talking about this year, we have a homegrown team that is our guys. Okay, this isn't the Carmelo Anthony bought team that we have that didn't do anything, okay? This is a genuine chance to win a chip in a down year. Tatum, Halliburton, both out this year. The lane is clear, and that's why I keep saying on this show, it's going to be a New York Knicks, Houston Rockets finals this year. We're going to get the O.J. Simpson, and then O.J. Simpson's body is going to come out of his grave, and Al Cowlings, the ghost of Al Cowlings, are going to ride the white Bronco, a white Tesla down the L.A. freeway. And we're going to do a cross-promotion with Twitter, okay?
That sounds good to me.
All right, well, listen, guys, if you want to catch me on Instagram, that's New York Minute. That's NEWYRKMIN. For all the funny, for all the reels, you can actually see the trailer to the new show, Zoos on First, with Aaron Judge and Aaron Boone. Be sure to catch that. You can actually check that in my YouTube reels. Also, if you're watching right now, right here on YouTube, this is going to be my Instagram channel now. All the reels, all the memes, all the shit that you get on Instagram, it's coming right here, folks, because Google pays. And guess what? Remember, if you can't be good, be bad, baby. Bye.